Like, it's just like ridiculous. Like,
Yes.
I want it now.
I want it now.
like if people are thirsty, they're going to try to find water, even if it's garbage water.
Yep. They are going to drink Mountain Dew.
They are, yes.
Everyone should know Mountain Dew is a fantasy, and you should not believe that Mountain Dew is real water.
It doesn't exist. It's a
not real.
conspiracy.
Yeah. I last little thing I'll add there too, because porn also gets a bad rep for, that's not how people have sex. It is when there's a camera. That's the other thing is it's like people don't understand that those positions aren't fun most of the time. Most people don't like doing reverse cowgirl, like crab walk on somebody. Like it is not a very comfortable thing to do, but it is a great angle for a camera. And that's where that stuff comes from. And it's like, that's also frustrating is it's just a one-step thought where you're like, oh, I like watching this. This doesn't actually feel good to anyone. It's just, this is how you get a camera in to see what's going on.
Yeah, I
You
guess
end
that
up
would
with
explain
weird-
why sometimes in porn it's just like sound. Well, obviously they're acting for one, but also it's like, I know you're not enjoying this.
No, yeah, I know you're not.
yeah. And then it takes
orgasming.
me
Your
out of it.
clit
I'm
is
like,
not getting
no.
anywhere close to being touched.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're just like, oh, yeah, yeah, please more. Like,
Braxy.
and just like checking their watch, like, it's good.
Yeah. Well, I'll say it's sometimes it's because, just the more I've learned about the porn world too, is like having people not like each other, but have to shoot together creates a very bizarre dynamic.
It's sure.
Yeah. Cause it's, like sex is sex. It's kind of like the joke that pizza's pizza, like even bad pizza is still pizza.
Yeah.
So like, if it's something you enjoy doing and you're consenting to, you're going to have your own version of fun. But at the end, like if you're not into the person you're sleeping with because you disagree pretty wholeheartedly on some specific subjects, which there are no lists within porn, so you can choose not to do that. But sometimes it's kind of too hard, especially for male talent, because you pretty much are like, if you have a big no list and you're male talent, then you don't shoot porn. Like that's pretty much it. Like you're not going to get a lot of wiggle room there. Like your job is to show up, have a hard on, finish, and get the fuck out.
Get out of here. Did you come? Get the fuck out.
You
That's one of the
schmuck,
things
get
that
out of here.
drives me nuts too is like everybody trashes on porn and they talk about how it like abuses women in this like consistently, but never talk about the fact that like the porn industry is one of the only industries where women are way outpaid than the men. Like they are making so much more money.
At least somewhere that's the case.
Yeah.
Like even like if you look at gay porn versus straight porn, that the women in straight porn versus the men in gay porn, it is still not comparable. The amount of money that's being made in those because, the fantasies are coming from cishet men.
Like, sure are.
And so that's the other thing is like when you're like, well, porn's causing problems. Like, no, those porns are based off of algorithms of what's being searched online. That's where they get those ideas from. You want to know where the problem is? Start looking at your men.
Well, apparently all of our men, cishet men, love like stepsister shit.
Yep. For whatever reason,
For whatever reason.
That is definitely a yum that needs to be yucked.
Yeah. And that's somebody told me a very good explanation of it, that they think it comes from kind of the same place that you get neckbeards. Why can't I think of the milady guys?
Oh, the incels?
Incel. Haha. It's where incels come from, is that it's that it's this idea that there's a woman in your house who's beautiful, who's just there, who just wants to have sex with you whenever you're around. And like, but you don't actually have to take any like responsibility of a relationship or anything like that. That like you have this kind of like, oh no, that's my stepsister. So it's like both a taboo and also just like easy access female kind of thing. It's like, yeah, no, that tracks. That makes more sense now why that's it's easy access is what it is.
All right. Enough of that. Hello. Welcome to Love at First Sighting, where we have sex positive, kink friendly, and thirsty conversations about the monsters and cryptids that traverse our backyards and our imaginations. My name's Joyce. My pronouns are she, they, and I'll be your resident cryptid researcher with the Monster Book Report. Joining me today is Jim.
Hey, I'm Jim. I'm here to rep the monster fucker in all of us. And I will be bringing the monster porn.
Sweet. Love it. And also joining me is Coco.
And Coco forgot his intro. I can wing it. So, hey, my name's Coco. And I got it. And I am unlearned in the way of cryptids. But I do bring an extensive knowledge and background in gender and sexuality. I have a black belt in queer, and I am here to learn, get horny.
Close enough. Love it.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Okay, so today, per Jim's request, I present to you all the knot deer. Coco, what do you know about the knot deer?
So far, that it's not a deer.
Pretty descriptive.
Or is it? Well, I will say, because I wanted to start bringing up the nicknames that you give these in front of me, so I don't know what you're talking about. Hot beer is what they've been saying.
Yes.
So tasty.
Yes, I'm just really enjoying this. Okay.
All right.
So give me that hot beer.
Okay. So I did some research, obviously. And so this monster seems to kind of been born from the internet based on what I can find. It's kind of like a creepypasta of sorts. The earliest kind of note, like in like the usage of knot deer, was from a Tumblr post in 2019. Big shout out to I Do History Sometimes on Tumblr, who did an extensive like show your work of their research and like just did all the legwork. So I don't have to. It's great.
Yeah.
Again, you know, this is based on using those search terms. Now, if there was a story about the knot deer that didn't use that particular moniker, you know, then maybe it starts earlier. Because I did read something from 4chan. I didn't go on 4chan because no, thank you. But from 2013. But they didn't say knot deer, and the only description, of the entity was that it left hoof prints, but it didn't really describe anything else. So maybe it is, maybe it isn't a knot deer. But yeah, it's been gaining a lot of popularity on TikTok. You know, there's mentions of it on a specific Reddit page for Appalachia and a lot of Tumblr stuff. Now, there are some folks who say like, oh, well, you know, stories are hard to find because it's been passed down orally through Appalachia for, you know, years and years. But based on what I could find, these are the posts that I could find on the internet, and the dates are, you know, pretty recent as far as monsters are concerned. So let's get into what the monster is. So the knot deer, as you might imagine, is and is not a deer. So
I'm imagining the creature from Princess Mononoke, the forest god that has like a human face and deer antlers.
Sometimes, yes. So basically, knot deer, they tend to, on the first kind of sighting of them, you think it's a deer, but then you realize, like with deeper kind of inspection, that there's something off about the deer. Now, this could be like some kind of like, it just looks atypical in a way, like physically, or like has some like kind of odd development, like elongated limbs or extra eyeballs, stuff like that. Just like it seems like maybe just like it developed a little bit different than most deer.
Like an extra penis, or
just two dicks, perhaps.
Two dicks, or several buttholes. I don't know.
Yeah,
a butthole for each of us.
Like joints in weird places and stuff like that. But then there's also sometimes it has more terrifying attributes like sharp teeth, extra eyeballs, you know, hands instead of hooves.
Predator eyes.
Yes.
Front-facing eyes.
That was a big point. Yes, thank you for reminding me that. Eyes that are forward-facing, that I learned, is a basic trait of predators. So like a wolf or some shit. Because deer they tend to be more on the side because they need to see in the periphery.
Coming. Yeah,
exactly. You know, the next thing they kind of always mention is that knot deer behave in strange ways for deer. Like, you know, they aren't afraid of humans. They move in jerky ways. Sometimes they're kind of aggressive. They'll stare you down, I guess. Like, you know, I do want to point out, like, not trying to be rude, but I have seen, we live in a place with deer.
Yes.
And